Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, next Sunday afternoon is being labeled as the biggest event in wrestling history. AEW's All In taking place at Wembley Stadium in London, England. Like I said before, man, this show is being labeled as the biggest show, not just in AEW history, but in wrestling history. Over 80,000 fans are going to pack Wembley Stadium to watch some amazing stuff coming from AEW, man. And, AEW being able to, get in over 80,000 people for this show, I got to say, my hat's off to them, man. Really, my hat's off to them. But before I officially get into the predictions, man, a few things I do want to say here. Despite the fact it is really cool that they were able to get that many fans to come to the show, that still doesn't change the fact that the build up for this show could have been a little bit better. But that's kind of a pretty much a hypnosis, a pretty much a not so change with AEW. A lot of times they do this with their pay per views. They kind of wait to the last minute, start announcing matches, and they have the show, and the show turns out to be great. And that's good and all, don't get me wrong, but still, you have to get people to watch the pay per view. And I just feel like, they should do a little bit better job at building for that. But nonetheless, this is going to be a good show. Now, I know there's some other matches that are probably going to get announced that haven't gotten announced already, like CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. If that match takes place at Wembley, I'm going to go ahead and say it. CM Punk wins that one. CM Punk beats Joe. But I'm going to go ahead with the updated, as of now, match card right now. And we got the first match on here that's not going to take place on the main card, but on the pre-show, or the 0 hour. Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, man. Can they do it? Can Adam Cole and MJF, better than you, baby, finally win championship gold? They can't do it with AEW, but they can finally do it with Ring of Honor beating Aussie Open. And yeah, these guys are actually going to get me to want to watch 0 hour, because usually when AEW or any other wrestling company does their pre-shows, I don't watch it because I don't really care what's on the pre-show. But in this case, this should be really interesting. But with that being said, I don't think MJF and Adam Cole are going to win. I feel like there's going to be something going on. We might even have Roderick Strong come out and like distract MJF and Adam Cole, and Aussie Open gets to win, and that can cause further tension between MJF and Adam Cole as we head towards the main event of the night. Because it's honestly crazy, they're gonna win the tag team championships, and then like 3 hours later, 4 hours later, they're gonna literally wrestle each other for the world title. So I got Aussie Open retaining their belts. Okay, so the Stadium Stampede match. We haven't seen this match since 2021's Double or Nothing, I believe. But anyways, man, we have the Blackpool Combat Club and a mystery partners taking on the best friends, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, and the Lucha Bros. Yeah, man, the Stadium Stampedes have always been a hit, always been very entertaining. So this one should definitely be no exception. But I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. I just feel like this is a typical match where the baby faces get the win over the heels. I don't really think there's been a Stadium Stampede since they started doing them where the heels actually won. So I think the best friends, Orange Cassidy, Lucha Bros, Eddie Kingston, I do think they get the win here. And yeah, but nonetheless, this is going to be a really entertaining match. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how it goes. All right, so the next match is a trios match, 6-man tag player. Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, and Kota Ibushi taking on Konosuke Konexia, Jay White, and Juice Robinson, Bullet Club Gold. Yeah, man, this 6-man tag should be, it's definitely going to be one of those matches that people are going to look back and say, you know what, this was an underrated sleeper. And I'm really intrigued to see Kenny and Jay White in a ring at the same time. I know people are intrigued to see Kenny and Konechka, but Kenny and Jay, they have history, so it's going to be really cool to see them rewrite that. But nah, man, I just feel like I think Konechka and their group might get the win. They need that momentum because I feel like this is all leading to Kenny and Konosuke for All In. I mean, for All Out, which is literally gonna be a week later. So I feel like if you want to get KT that momentum, you have them beat the Golden Elite here for the most part. But I do think the heels are going to get the win. And yeah, I do think this eventually leads to Kenny versus KT at the All Out pay per view. So yeah. All right, so next we have a Coffin tag team match play. I know Teddy Long is going crazy over this one. Darby Allin and Sting taking on Swerve Strickland and AR Fox. I've told y'all guys before in the reviews, Swerve Strickland, the mobile embassy, have been winning me over. I know this is a really cool moment for AR Fox as well, especially being able to share the ring as a legend like Sting. But I just think, man, as a good match this should be, and this got to be a tornado tag. There's no way this is gonna be a normal standard tag team match. This is gonna be all over the place. There's gonna be craziness. There's gonna be action, maybe a little bit of blood, but in the end, Darby Allin and Sting, they got to get the win here, man. Like after what they did to the kid, they gotta they gotta win here, man. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and have Darby Allin and Sting get the win here. And what a huge moment it's gonna be for Sting with all those fans being in Wembley, man. They're going to go nuts for Sting. They're gonna go crazy this whole event, man, because we all know them UK fans. They are a little bit. I think they are superior than the American fans. No offense, American fans, but the UK fans, when they get passionate, man, they get effing passionate. So, the fatal four-way match for the AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm, who was the former champion, versus Britt Baker, versus the current champion, Shida, and Saraya. You know, someone online said that this match was paying homage to when that independent wrestling show All In. They said, oh, they're paying homage because when they did that All In event, it was a fatal four-way match for the women. And that is completely and utterly laughable, man. I mean, it should be all right. It's not going to be like the best match of the night, but I wouldn't say it's going to be bad. But yeah, man, I just feel like, this was kind of a last minute just to put the women on the show. Not just to put the women on the show, but just to give the women something. Plus, it hurts the fact that Jamie Hayter is injured right now. Man, like her and Toni Storm, like their match, I think at Wembley would have really been a really good match of the night candidate. But they're gonna try their best here. Shida's gonna win here. I don't think there's gonna be any way, shape, or form they're gonna put the belt back on Britt Baker. Toni just lost the title, and I think fans would stop watching if Saraya became the champion. So I'm gonna go with Shida, man. She just won the belt. There's no way she loses here. So Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. In some way, shape, or form, you can kind of call this a dream match. But when you go online and you hear a lot of people, a majority of the fans, they're not too happy with Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. People are saying how, why can't we get Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega 3? Oh my God, Chris Jericho is old. Oh, Chris Jericho is not going to be able to keep up with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay has to carry Chris Jericho. Like, look, I can understand the rage behind this matchup. I can get that. But at the same time, when you look at the story of Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, that's more of a New Japan story than an AEW story. So it kind of makes just a little bit of sense to finish that Kenny and Will Ospreay match on New Japan turf. And I think in New Japan sense, they would want to have that match on their home turf rather it be on AEW turf. I do think that Will Ospreay does get the win here. But it's going to be weird, man, because Will Ospreay, this is pretty much his home turf. This is his battleground, and he's coming in as a heel. I'm assuming that Jericho's going to be the face and Will's going to be the heel. And then I'm still tripping. Like, why is Will Ospreay with Don Callis? Like, again, Will Ospreay beating Kenny at Forbidden Door was kind of weak, just a little bit, because he had Don Callis helping him. Like, Will Ospreay won because Don Callis played a role. And Don Callis is probably going to play a role again in this match, having Will Ospreay beat Jericho. So I'm just sitting here like, man, Ospreay needs to hit freaking Don with the cutter and hit him with a forearm like or something, man, because he don't need to be with Don Callis, man. He really don't. And then Don Callis is a user. 9 times out of 10, Don Callis just gonna use Will Ospreay, and once he's done with him, he's just gonna chew him out like a piece of gum, a piece of trash. But the match, I mean, it should be good. I think you give Jericho the right opponent, it should be a good match. I know Jericho's like 50 years old, but he's not like the worst wrestler in the world. Like there are wrestlers right now that are still as bad as Chris Jericho. Like I would say, nah, man, like Chris Jericho had the better match than he did. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we'll see where this goes. But my money's on Will Ospreay here. And man, very excited for this match. There's been a lot of amazing matches in AEW this year, and this one is gonna definitely take the cake. FTR versus the Young Bucks 3. Now, granted, I didn't make a video on it. I am aware of the situation that went down this past weekend with Cash Wheeler, him getting arrested, him having some road rage, and again, him getting arrested and all that stuff. Obviously, AEW is aware of the situation. But despite all that going down, this match is still happening. This match is still on as of the recording of this video, and there's no way they're gonna cancel the match. Like, come on, like there's no injuries going on here. It's not in that crazy with the way the situation looks like, so it's not like they're gonna cancel this match. This is the biggest tag team match on this show. You know what I mean? So there's no way they're gonna cancel it. But Young Bucks, all I gotta say, just be a little careful. Just be a little careful. I don't want Cash he might pull out the Glot. You know what I'm saying? He might pull an All Anderson on you in this match if things don't go their way. But no, all jokes aside, man, I'm very excited for this match. Everyone's excited for this matchup. Everybody knows the past two FTR Young Bucks matches were freaking phenomenal, and this one is gonna be no exception. Shit, they might have the Young Bucks win here. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I have that feeling that they're gonna have the Bucks win this one. That the Bucks are gonna win, and they're gonna become the new World Tag Team Champions. Just something in my gut just feels like they're gonna give the win to the Young Bucks. But then again, they might have FTR. But I'm gonna go ahead and predict the Young Bucks. So we'll see what happens. All right, man. The main event, man. MJF versus Adam Cole, the AEW World Championship, man. These two best friends, these two guys, these two pals are gonna go at it in the main event, and I've said it before. Very full circle for Adam Cole after dang near his career coming to an end nearly. And when it seemed like he wasn't even going to wrestle again after that concussion, he comes back, and now look, he's in the biggest main event of AEW of this year with MJF. MJF, no explanation need. We all know MJF deserves to be in this spotlight. We all know MJF deserves to be in this moment. He's the biggest star in AEW. And they had an amazing match, a few months back. On Dynamite. And this match, this could very well take the cake, especially with the story we've gotten up to this match. And this could go either way, man. You could say MJF wins here, but then you could say Adam Cole wins. And you know what? This is going to shock a lot of people. Either way, it won't really matter. Like, if MJF does win, cool. If Adam Cole wins, I feel like he does win by heel turn. Sorry to break the hearts of the MJF and Adam Cole fans, but Adam Cole might turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. With the stuff going on with Roderick and the Kingdom, they might be pulling this swerve of Cole turning on MJF, and they could still do it like in the process of MJF winning. But like, I feel like if MJF was to turn on Cole, I really do think that would be a very predictable ending. And it's like we didn't see that coming. But Adam Cole and MJF, I feel like, would be a little bit more emotional. So, but nonetheless, man, this is gonna be a really good main event, and we will see what happens next. But I'm actually gonna go ahead. I might just say Cole wins. But if MGF wins, hey, like I said, it's one of those matches where it's like it doesn't really matter who wins. I think everybody wins in the end. So I hope y'all enjoyed my all-in predictions. And yeah, man, like I said, it's gonna be a really good show. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to win their matches? Who do you think is going to lose the matches? And we shall see next Sunday on August 27th.